Hi guys, how are you? So for this video on the Hen Heaven YouTube channel, I thought it was about time I did something around the trends of a wedding and what is in and what is out at this point. I did a video about the most popular wedding flowers at the moment, did a little bit of looking online. I'm going to do a similar thing for centerpieces. Centerpieces for every wedding that I have been at has been something that has always caught my eye. It is something that is so key to the design of your venue. It can completely change a venue. So I'm really interested to see what little tricks people are putting into their centerpieces now to make the most of what they choose. So let's get on to the internet. So from looking through, there seems to be a few key trends that I've been able to pick out from different websites, so I'm just going to go through a couple of them. Trend number one, the It flower. Apparently a flower called anemones, oh my god, it's like finding a name, anemone. Apparently they're the most popular wedding flowers at the moment. They're scentless apparently, and they're available in a wide range of jewel toned colours. So apparently these are the flowers that are being incorporated most into wedding flowers, I'm guessing also, but also centerpieces. Who knew? I had no idea. They kind of give a really bridal, elegant look, but then they're really modern looking at the same time. I like them. Trend number two, mix it up. Though monochromatic looks are still very popular, yes they are, they're beautiful, style conscious couples have been switching it up a little bit. So apparently going with 3 different hues and like tones of colour is very popular at the moment, whether that be on flowers or ornaments or something like that. Apparently a big way that people are going about it at the moment is having, you know, say half of your tables at your reception, dinner, can't get my words out, at your wedding breakfast, having half of the tables with arrangements that contain all 3 tones of colour or all 3 colours in general. So for example, if you were going for pastel colours, if you had a peach, if you had a slightly more pinky tone and you had a yellow, you would have an arrangement with all 3 colours. They're totally random colours, but you would have all 3 colours in the one arrangement. And then on the other half of your tables you would have small arrangements to make a large arrangement, and each small arrangement would contain one of those individual colours, so it switches it up a little bit. I like that idea actually, it's a nice variation. Trend number 3, apparently finding classic twists on originals is very popular. With trends ever changing, it's really no surprise to see changes that are going to evolve into something completely different. So this one isn't that surprising, but it's still quite impressive to think about. A suggestion that they're making here, instead of going for traditional things like for example picking a traditional flower, finding a more modern alternative of that is more appealing. A particular example that they give is that, you know, classic orchids are very popular for weddings, or at least they tend to be, but apparently Mocara orchids, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, probably not, but apparently they're now on the bridal and wedding radar as being more appealing. Apparently it's because of subtle differences in colour variations and the direction of growth and the thickness of the stem, loads of different reasons. So if you're planning your wedding, you find yourself going for the classics, maybe think, how can I change this up a little bit? Trend number 4, and this is something that I think is very, very difficult for people when they're planning a wedding, and that is bold colours. It speaks to some people and it doesn't to others, so it's really, really difficult to take this trend on if it's something that's just not for you, because there's no point incorporating it into your wedding if it's not who you are, if it's got no relevance to you and your significant other. Like they say here though, it doesn't have to be all out there, it doesn't have to be in loads of flower arrangements, it doesn't have to be in centerpieces, it doesn't have to be on massive chair covers. It can be something simple like when they put ribbons around chair covers. I know in Scotland it's very common for people to tie ribbons around chair covers. It probably is other places, I don't know why I said in Scotland, oh my goodness. So maybe in the centre of that having a little jewelled pin that is a little bit more brightly coloured, adding some vibrancy, adding some shine. Or another suggestion that they make here is having more colourful napkins. I never thought of that because they're on the table and then they're gone, so it's literally just a drop of colour. Nice idea, I like it. Trend number 5 that is coming up is letting go of fixed shapes and embracing a more natural look. Apparently it's becoming more and more popular for couples to select things that aren't as fixed in shape, if you know what I mean. They're not as structured looking. So again, if you were to look at this in terms of flowers, I mentioned this in my flower video, rather than going for a rose and having a nice, you know, perfectly rounded bouquet of roses as a centerpiece, you could have, you know, a bit more of a wildflower look, have it a little bit less symmetrical, more natural looking, and apparently that is all the rage at the moment. I've definitely seen that with brides bouquets, and with bridesmaids bouquets, the looser look is definitely more popular at the moment. It adds that nice kind of natural effortless, flawless beauty kind of element, and yeah, I like that. Okay, when I saw this trend, I had mixed feelings about it. I could see this being pulled off at like a really high profile, out there, stylish, maybe like celebrity profile wedding. But I don't know, I feel like if I was to try and use this trend, it would look like I'd taken my kitchen table and pulled it in from my wedding reception. I haven't even told you what the trend is, and they've listed it as keeping it clear. And what they've photographed is, you know, clear tables being used. I can imagine this looking beautiful. I don't know if it's just the way that it's done in the photograph that's putting me off, and I don't know if it's just the fact that I've had glass kitchen tables basically my entire life. So I'm not 100% sure on this trend. Let me know in the comments what you think. The next trend on this particular website, they've called it shedding a light. And basically it talks about incorporating some form of light into your centerpieces, whether that be from an electric light, whether it be from LED lights, whether it be from fairy lights, candles, whatever you choose. But just incorporating a little bit of brightness in there can really change how a table looks. A photograph example that they've got here is candelabras, and then they've also got this really beautiful looking lamp that almost has a vase as its pillar. Very different. I love this idea purely because when you get into the evening reception, your centerpieces 9 times out of 10 are still on the tables. And in the evening reception, the lights tend to go down, and it tends to be a DJ or a band or whatever you've gone for your evening reception entertainment factor. And when those lights go down, it's nice to have those little elements of light throughout the room, and whether that means, you know, extra tea lights get brought out to get added to a centerpiece for the evening reception. They may not have to be there all day, because chances are if they're there all day they're going to burn out by evening reception. Even if you replenish the candles, actually, that'd be an idea. Or have LED lights switched on, or have even an actual light in there. It looks quite nice, it's surprising. I'm all for this trend, I love it. Shine a freaking light. And one of the most popular trends that I have found across quite a few different websites actually, and I think I'm going to make this the last one because this is quite a lot to take in, and that is napkin treatments. Apparently it's becoming more popular for people to, you know, step away from flowers as centerpieces or being part of a centerpiece idea and take the flowers and put them onto a napkin treatment instead. This could either just be like a little flower that is left on top of every napkin. You could have when you roll a napkin up and you've got the little things that slide onto the napkin, you could have a floral fixture on there. It keeps the floral element, but it lightens it down a little bit, and it means that you've got more room to play with your centerpiece because you're not sticking to flowers or trying to worry about how flowers will fit in there. I'm now picturing a single thistle. Oh my god, I have such a thing for single thistles. Actually, what would be really, really nice if you had, you know, floral treatments on all of the napkins, and then on the brides only have a single thistle. That is really romantic. I love that. Oh my god. But anyway, that is all of the little trends that I've come across on the internet. I did look for a good wee while, and these seem to be the ones that jumped out most to me, and you know, some tended to be a little bit unusual, but that's why I wanted to share them. Maybe they'll give you some ideas, maybe they'll give you some inspiration, maybe you've used them before, I do not know, let me know in the comments. But other than that, I'm done with this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, leave a comment below, click subscribe if you haven't done so already, check out our social medias and our website in the description, and I'll see you next time.